Hi everyone, this is Baban Biswas. Let me introduce myself. I'm a data engineer by profession. I have around 5.5 years of experience. So during this period, basically I work for 3 different companies and a couple of different clients. So in this period, I was able to increase my package around 10 folds. So thought of sharing my experience with you so that some of you can be benefited from here. So now we'll focus on the skills or technology you need to be aware to be good at your data engineering work. Number one, structured query language SQL. So now let's divide this SQL into two parts: basic syntax or basic SQL and advanced SQL. So basic SQL, what are the things? You should be good in DDL and DML operation. That means how you can create different object. Object means tables, views or other objects. Okay. And then you focus how you can modify that table or object whatever you have created. Let's suppose you have created a table X. Now table has 3 fields. Now you focus how you can add an additional columns or fields, how you can remove one existing fields, how you can insert the data into the table, how you can delete some data, how you can update the data in the tables. These are the things. Once you are good at it, then let's focus on writing advanced SQL queries. Okay, in advanced SQL queries you should know how you can basically do join between different tables. Okay, in join basically inner join, left join, right join and full outer join. These are the important topics. Okay, and some aggregation means summation, getting max, mean, count, all these things. Then window function, then basically rank, row number, dense rank, then lead, lag function or the basically properties, all these things. Don't focus on this keyword. So initially you might not be familiar with this keyword, but later we'll create some video so to discuss in details on these topics. Okay, that means now you have basic SQL skills as well as advanced SQL skills. Now next question, where you can practice all these things, because unless you practice it, then you will not remember after a certain time, right? So there are multiple couple of portals available. So if I name one like HackerRank, where basically I also practice a lot, so you can utilize that one to improve your SQL queries skill. Okay, so now you are good with SQL queries. Now create a hands-on project. Hands-on project means you create a table, you create 1 or 2 tables, then load some data, some sample data into those tables, then join these tables, then try to implement some basically aggregation function or some window function, try to get some max value, mean value, count, summation, average, all these things. So that way what will happen, you will have some project also, and in that way you will get some hands-on. So once you get hands-on, as per my experience, once you get hands-on, then only you know basically what are the basically pros and cons associated with your queries and how you can improve. That is the actually mostly asked question or frequently asked question in any interview. So how you can improve your basically query performance. So when you do all these things now, then only you will be able to understand how we basically what are the scope of improvement, whatever query you have written. That way if you give answer, then the interviewer will understand, yes, this person worked basically in real time or real life project, so or kind of thing. So that way basically you have one project. So upload this project into some GitHub or some any remote repository, so that you can show you in your you can mention in your resume. Okay, so once you are good with it, now let's focus on Python. So Python has basically 2 aspects. One is programming, another is scripting. For us, like for data engineer, we need just scripting. So in scripting we do not need all the things of Python. Python is a vast language, it has lot of things. Okay, but we will not learn everything. So what are the things we will focus here? Number 1, data type. Number 2, variable. Number 3, function. Number 4, regular expression. Number 5, lambda. Number 6, lambda and function is actually almost similar, just a smaller version of the function is the lambda. Basically, let's suppose you are writing a 5-line codes, okay, to implement a function. The same can be implemented in a single line using lambda. We'll discuss in like our other videos basically in details all these things. Then focus on basically the data collection. In collection basically you have list, tuples, dictionary. Now focus on 2 things. One is list, another is dictionary. These are the things basically which is required or most important for data engineer. Now you have Python and SQL in your bucket. What do you do? Now let's create a project. Okay, using Python, what will do? You extract data from some open, basically some API. So there are a lot of open source APIs available. From there, you can extract the data using Python and load into some table. Okay, then do some transformation. Then again upload your this code or the project into GitHub. Then share that also in your resume. Okay, now you have two projects. Okay. Now let's focus on something else like some database or data warehouse. Okay, so I'll recommend you to learn Snowflake. Basically, Snowflake is currently in demand in the market. Okay, Snowflake is also like some cloud-based data warehouse where basically you can write your SQL queries and you can create tables, you can do transformation, you can use other programming language like Python, JavaScript, Java, all these things. Okay, I use normal JavaScript and Python. Now in Snowflake you try to understand what is the architecture behind this Snowflake, how data is getting stored there, how we are extracting the data, how it is making sure the performance improved, or like computer errors, all these things you understand. Okay, and how you can improve the query performance in Snowflake itself also. Okay, so now once you are good all these things, then create another hands-on project. In this project what you will do, let's extract data from some API, then using Python, then load the data into some Snowflake table. Here basically in Snowflake you create two layers, one is raw layer, another is presentation layer. In raw layer what you will do, using Python scripting, you will extract the data from the API or some other places or some specific table, then load the data without making any modification into Snowflake raw layer table. Okay, and top of the raw layer table you create a view. There you basically implement the transformation. When we are talking about transformation means, let's suppose you are getting 10 fields. Now the client or end user want you to add on additional field, and how that field will get data from the existing 1 or 2 field. Okay, so that means you are adding a new field which we can call as derived field or calculated field. And sometimes what happens, we get some data which is basically the format is not okay, so we need to basically make sure that format is with the business is as per expectation of the client. Okay, now here basically now you have created the view on top of your raw layer table, then load the data from view to your some target table. Okay, so target, how you can load the table, so you can write some insert query or merge query. I'll recommend you to understand the merge query, how it works. Okay, basically data engine normally write lot of merge query. So using merge query you are loading the data. Once this pipeline is ready, that means your pipeline has two parts. One is using Python, you are extracting data from API or some specific space, some specific source, loading into Snowflake raw layer. From Snowflake raw layer you are again loading data into your another target table. That means using Python one part and using SQL on another part. Now what you need to do, you need to make sure you are scheduling your two pipelines. Okay, why? Basically everything should be automated. Let's suppose you have created pipeline, so after 1 year there should not be any manual intervention. That means there should not be any person who is triggering your pipeline or running your query to load the data. That is inefficient way, right? So what you do, you create a pipeline. So in Python part you can create a cron job easily, and then you can schedule that cron job. What is cron job again? We can discuss it later again, but now let's focus on our overall approach, how we can improve our skills or what are the skills required for a data engineer. Now again create that project and upload into GitHub, then share it mention it in your resume again. Okay, so now once this is done, then we will focus some specific things on scheduler. Okay, scheduler means if you are using Snowflake provides you task. Basically using task you can schedule. Task is a simple object, like you just need to create task, then mention the time when this pipeline should run. Okay, so now this is done. Now apart from Snowflake task, in market there are a couple of other things available. You can say Airflow DAG. Using that you can schedule your pipeline again. Now once you are good with this thing, then let's focus on some ETL tool. Basically whenever you will give some interview, that interview will ask you what are the ETL tool you have knowledge or experience. That time that's why you need to be aware of the ETL tool also. So currently in market basically cloud based ETL tool is in great demand. If I name some like ADF, Azure Data Factory, then a Matillion, Wirescape, some AWS Glue or other ETL tool. Okay. Now let's focus on any specific ETL tool. You do not need to learn all the ETL tool because that is a kind of a difficult task initially. Okay, let's focus on ADF. Okay, in ADF, what ADF helps you or ADF provide you? ADF will provide you some services using which you can connect to some data sources and then extract the data using some copy statement and load into some your table. If I name here the raw layer table, you can load. Okay, now that pipeline you can schedule using your ADF scheduler that is available already. Okay, we will again discuss in our other videos how you can basically schedule ADF pipeline, or you can there are a lot of videos available in YouTube, you can go through that also. Now you have SQL, Python, ADF, so all of the things whatever required for a data engineer. So once you have all these things, then now let's focus on some reporting tool like PowerBI or Powerapps. That means what reporting tool will do, it will create some report by extracting data from your target table. Okay, so basically where you have loaded your all the transform data, from that table Power BI report will extract the data and populate itself, or the report will be created or refreshed. Now you have end-to-end experience. That means you can extract data from some API or some specific table or data source and then load the data, then do that record transformation, then load that transform data in some other table like some target table, some factor dimension table, then you can create some report also using some BI tool and populate that report, right? That means now you have end-to-end hands-on. So whenever you will show this kind of basically hands-on experience to any recruiter, they will be happy to onboard you. So then you can negotiate your salary and you can get your desired SAP package also. Now after some, if you are not getting good hike, then there is always option of switching the job, right? But that is not recommended. I do not recommend. So first learn everything in some good reputed company or some startup, and then only you take your decision whether you want to switch or stay in your current company. Thank you very much. I hope it was helpful for you. If you need any clarification on other things, please let me know. I'll create some other video. Thank you very much.